communication skills, right? Now, if you look at this particular statement on your screen, if you propose to speak, always ask yourself, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Okay, is it the first time you are getting to know this particular saying? Okay, I believe many of you would already know this because it's a like thousands of years old saying by Gautam Buddha. Okay, now look at this. If you propose to speak, always ask yourself, is it true? What you're going to speak, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Now, if you're able to answer these three questions properly, chances are very, very high that you would be able to hold the conversation properly. Now, why I'm talking about it right now? Because during all of my courses or discussions, what I found that this is such a profound, what to say, statement, but still, and it's thousands of years old, still we are not able to follow this properly, right? And that's why I thought let's talk about it like in a bit detail today. How many times have you been in a situation where you spoke some words that you instantly regretted? Like, why did you say this? Okay. As soon as those words left your corner of your mouth, you started feeling like that you did something wrong. Did it happen to you? Does it happen to you? Right? It's a very common thing which happens with many people. So why does it happen basically? Okay. There are very high chances that when we say something which we don't want to say, that's primarily the prime reason for that is that we try to unload an ego driven thought or speak with a negative emotion. Negative emotion could be of frustration, it could be of anger, or it could be of irritation. Because of any of these emotions or because of your ego driven thoughts, you just say something which you are not supposed to say. So that is one of the primary reason why we say what we are not supposed to say. Also, it happens sometimes there is a tendency to avoid the discomfort of silence. Okay, there is a silence in a room or in the discussion. You just say something, and silence is not always golden, and it is even not uncomfortable all the time. So let it be there if it is supposed to be. So if you are able to take care of these two situations, uh, neither going by the negative emotions nor just to take care of the silence, the chances are very high that you will be able to sustain a good conversation, right? Now, having said this, this is just about the words. Whatever we have discussed so far, it is just about the words. But I think you already know this that only 7% of communication is verbal, 38% is tone or the inflection of your voice, and staggering 55% is body language. Okay, it's a known fact. You might have heard about it, or somebody would have told you about it. You might have read about it. But look at the gravity of this, right? 7% is just word. We just talked about words, right? And 7% of the communication is word. Rest all is your tone, your tone of your voice, your body language. That's all what communication constitute of, right? And how much you are able to really take care of this. So if you look at the three components of communication, that is the word which you speak, the verbal part, non-verbal part, and the tonality of your voice. Considering all these three things, you would be able to communicate in the best possible manner in whichever domain you are. Okay, whether you are an IT engineer, salesperson, you are a trainer, teacher, any profession for that matter. And in every profession, communication is a core part of your craft. When I say craft, not necessarily it is just for designers, right? Definitely designers need to be great at communication, but other than designers also, like any profession you belong to, communication is a core part of your craft. Now, if I was just thinking about the typically the IT people's domain, right? Those people who work on a very specific skill set. They're supposed to be great at coding or whatever domain they are into. Now, if I was just talking to some of the senior folks in IT, and I was looking at the kind of profiles, since I also worked in IT domain for quite long before starting Koik Education, Coach APM brands 4.5 years ago. So I was just looking at that and the kind of profiles we discussed, and we found man, every profile needs communication skills. Okay, and look at the profile. Like I was just thinking about it. Look at this. If you are into client relationship, obviously you need to communicate with them. If you are into the business analysis domain, where you go and talk to the business and get the brief from them to document the document for your technical team, you need communication skills. When you are talking to the client or the stakeholders or your teams, internal teams, right, you need to set the expectations with them, for them, that exactly what is the required things. That is where you need communication, written as well as verbal. When you get into the, let's say your team is developing a software, now you are representing client with your internal team, you are getting into the testing mode, you are trying to justify that which codes they have written is wrong or right, needs some improvement or whatever. Okay, all the use cases which you prepare before giving the product to the client for testing, you again need that communication. If you are supposed to justify a problem to your technical team, you need communication, or technical team needs to justify their point of view to the business analysis, business analyst or whomsoever, or the project managers. They need to be good at communication. Are you getting it right? Now, whether it's a designing feedback or articulating decisions, everywhere you need it. Now, when your development is over and you are giving the product to the client for user acceptance test, again, what do you need? Other than the solid product, you need communication to justify what you have done and why something is working right manner or something is not working in that great manner. Everywhere it is a part of your profession. So, come what may, communication is a part of your craft. And that is the reason why the core focus of my training has been communication skills. Okay. Now, for this, what do I do? For this, I keep organizing webinar specifically on communication skills for career growth. Okay, now you can look at communication from variety of aspects. Okay, and you can try to master all of them, but you'll have to start at some place. And what I have seen that when I started training people on communication skills, I eventually realized that they started growing well in their career. And I can quote multiple examples, and you can go back to our company's profile or my profile. You will find out many feedback over there where people have grown in their career just by putting right efforts on communication skills, right? So I will be giving the link in the description in a while, through which you would be able to attend the latest workshop. Let me just put it in the chat box right away. And later on, I will also put that in the comment section or in the description so that people would be able to register for it whenever they feel like. Okay, because these workshops keep happening. So it's important that you take a note of it. Now, why I feel that I do justice to it. Basically, I grew from very humble beginning, okay, and from humble beginning to leading businesses in different geographies, including Asia Pacific, USA, and the growth which I got in my companies during the corporate work experience, the growth was possible majorly because of my commitment towards my work and my communication skills. Okay, and though I did my schooling from vernacular medium, and I had my own struggle during the initial phase of my life, but thankfully I kept, what to say, working on my skill set and kept improving myself. There were a lot of hidden trials required. It took decades of efforts to reach where I am today. Okay, with respect to communication skills, with respect to the content which I have got. So I want to give you exactly the same formula so that you achieve the results without getting into any hidden trial or joining long courses somewhere. Okay. So you would be able to achieve the results in 90 days if you implement the game plan, which I have worked on with my heart and soul into it. If you are, if you are really willing to take your game to the next level, like, and you want to work on your communication skills to go to the next level, please type growth in the chat box and I would welcome you to join the webinar. Today also we have a webinar at 9 p.m. Link is same what I have already put in the chat box. I will be putting that in the description. In case by any chance you missed tonight's workshop, you can again come back here. I will keep updating the link for the next webinar. Okay, this webinar can potentially change the course of your future. Okay, your career, change the economy of your family, change your and your family's lifestyle, change the way you approach life. Okay, you approach job. It has got an immense potential in it, and I don't have any doubts. And because of the kind of results I have been reaping through it, and I've been really happy to see the kind of growth my students have shown. Okay, so you will keep getting change in your life, and this is said that a change is inevitable, but the growth is optional. So you will keep getting number of changes. Your boss might change, your projects might change, your location might change. So all those changes are not in your hand, but what is in your hand is your growth. Okay, you can decide how to grow. I welcome you all to join this webinar happening tonight at 9 p.m. In case you miss it, you can again check back and find out the link for the next session, and hope to see you there. Okay, take care, guys. Have a great day ahead. Take care. Bye.